Also went after the 99%ers this weekend. Here it is.
All of the Occupy movement starts with the premise that we all owe them everything. They take over a public park they didn't pay for, to go nearby to use bathrooms they didn't pay for, to beg for food from places they don't want to pay for, to obstruct those who are going to work to pay the taxes to sustain the bathrooms and to sustain the park, so that they can self-righteously explain that they are the paragons of virtue to which we owe everything. Now, that is a pretty good symptom of how much the left has collapsed as a moral system in this country, and why you need to reassert something as simple as saying to them, go get a job right after you take a bath.
What's your response to that, Joan?
You know what? There aren't enough baths to make Newt Gingrich clean. He's playing, this is an old card from the culture war deck, but it's not going to work because you know what? In the let's leave the 60s and 70s aside. These kids right now are staggering under a load of debt. We used to want to educate our children, and now apparently we don't. And so they're very sympathetic people. They're not dirty hippies asking for a handout. They're asking for justice. And I just think that it's so lazy to just reach back into the Nixonian playbook for crappy old culture war stereotypes that just don't work anymore. It's really something to watch.
He made an interesting statement in that answer. He said that the protesters think that they are owed something. Do you think they are, in a sense, feeling like they are owed something outside of fairness? They're out there for fairness and social justice and economic justice. Where does that bring us?
They remember, they look at our generation, frankly, which was, one of maybe two generations that really got the American dream, that got a decent education. UC tuition was free before Ronald Reagan. There were little fees. But, I mean, the cost hike that you documented earlier in this show, more people need to know that. We used to want to educate our children for either free or very cheap. And apparently we can't afford that anymore. All they're asking for is decency.